So today we're going to be making a desktop background in Photoshop. So if you go down to your taskbar and you click on Photoshop, and it should open up. Depending on how it opens up, you can either go to File, New, and then it'll come up and it will ask questions here. Even if you have one of the newer versions of Photoshop, this will be the same questions or the same information goes on here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to name this desktop. You're going to change this to inches, and we are going to make it 12 inches by 8 inches, and we want it to be 150 resolution. Make sure that it says RGB color. If it doesn't, you just click on the button and it will come up. And then you click on background contents and you find transparent. On the newer versions, you might have to scroll down a little bit to get it to come up. Leave everything else the same, and then you just go ahead and hit OK. Down here in the corner, it tells you what percentage the picture is showing at that point. But to maximize your canvas size, if you hit Control 0, it will make it as big as it can within your screen and how much you have it. If you need to make your side panels a little smaller or bigger, you can take, and if you go over here to, you can turn it, make it smaller, bigger, and then if I hit Control 0 again, it'll make it bigger again. So now we're going to go to Chrome. We're going to go ahead and open it, and we will type in the word space scene, because basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a space, a Star Wars type space scene that we can put on our desktop. So once you do that, you can go ahead and open and click on images, and we need a larger image so that it's not pixelated. So what you would do is if you click on tools and you go over here to where it says size, you can click on large and it will come up with large pictures. Okay, so there's a bunch of pictures here. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one here. Now, I click on it here. This is a thumbnail. It's really small, and if I would copy and paste this one here, it's going to, if I copy it, right click, and I go over here. And remember, in Photoshop, you can't right click. It does not allow you to right click. So you either have to hit Control V, or you can go to Edit Paste. But now look how small that is, okay? So now if I go back here, now I came here and I have this one, right? So now I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to paste it by hitting, oops, sorry, that was my fault, by hitting Edit Paste, and it comes up the same size. However, if I go to the third one and I click on this so that I actually get the bigger wallpaper, and I copy it, and then I come over here to this, and then I paste it. Look how much bigger it is. This way it is not going to be pixelated. Okay, so just an FYI, I am not, for this project, you do not have to worry about if it is pixelated. It is more about learning about the other parts of this. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to transform the size of this so that it fits. If you have something that's really small, you need to make it bigger. In my case, mine is really big. I need to make it smaller. So transform means to change or to alter, just like in Transformers, they go from cars to robots, etc. So to do that, you're going to hit Control T. And when you hit Control T, you get these boxes on the corner and in the center. And if you put your cursor right on top of them, you can make them smaller, bigger, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and we want to make it the size of the background. So I don't want any white showing. So go ahead and change and resize it. Okay, when you are all done, see how I still have all of my boxes on my corners and stuff here? You're going to click enter and that goes away. Now, if I have up here, see the cross that's at the very top? If I have that selected, I can click, hold, and drag, and I can put this wherever I need it to be. But we're going to put it right back to where it was. All right, so now we're going to go back to Chrome, and we're going to type in R2D2. And we'll go to Images, and we're going to go to Tools, Size, Large, and we're looking for R2D2 that has a white or solid background of some kind, okay? So, I mean, this black one would work here, or this one probably wouldn't work because there's a lot of colors that are alike. I need the background to be a different color than whatever it is that you're looking for. So like this one here would be fine too. Okay, so you can pick whichever one. I'm going to go ahead and pick this second one here, and I'm going to click on it, and then I can either copy and paste it from here, or I can make it bigger and click on it just like we did before. So I'm going to be in here, and remember, I cannot right click to paste. So I either have to go to Edit, Paste, or I have to hit Control V. So now I need to transform this or make it smaller so that he actually looks like he's on the planet. To do that, we have to transform it. So we're going to hit Control T, and then, as you can see, we got the little boxes in the corner. We're going to click and hold, and we're going to drag it, and we are going to make him small so he looks like he is on there. Now, if you put your cursor right above the corner, do you see how it turns into an arrow that's got like a corner? If I do that and I click on it and hold, I can then turn my whole thing around and around and around, and I can tilt it, I can do whatever. So I'm going to tilt him so it makes him look like he's kind of on there. So now we're going to get rid of these boxes. I'm all done resizing and changing and shaping. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Good. Well, we have this, but it really looks like you have two pictures, a nice picture of the space, and then you have just this picture that you just kind of threw on there. So to make it look better, if this white area from around it wasn't there, it would make it look much better. So this will probably be one of your favorite tools in Photoshop, and it's called the Magic Wand. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the toolbar, and you're going to go down to the 1, 2, 3, the fourth one. Now, depending on where you are, it's either going to say quick selection tool, and it's going to look like a paintbrush with this dotted line, or it's going to be the magic wand. If you have the quick selection tool here, if you right click on top of it, you should get this menu and you click on magic wand. If I go over here and I click on it, you can see how I now have what I call dancing ants, and they're going around all of the white. The whole purpose of the magic wand is that it goes and finds all of the same color that's touching it. So I have it there, and all I have to do now is hit backspace on my keyboard, and I have no more white. So it looks much better now. At least it kind of looks somewhat realistic. But I still have all of these dancing ants here. To get rid of dancing ants, no matter when you are or where you are in Photoshop, if you hit Control D for deselect. So Control D is deselect, Control T is transform. So now it went away. All right. So now we are going to go out and we're going to get a picture of BB-8, and I'm going to do it a little bit faster. And we are going to do the same thing with BB-8. So I'm going to find a picture of BB-8 that's got a different background, maybe a little bit, because I'm afraid that the white might get taken. This one might be okay here. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to paste it. There we go. I'm going to hit Control T to make him smaller. I'm going to rotate him a little bit so that he kind of goes over here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag and put him about right there. Okay, to get rid of the boxes, I'm going to hit Enter. I now have no boxes. So now we're going to take our magic wand tool. So if it's not selected, you're going to go up here to the fourth one on your toolbar, and you're going to click on the white, and then you are going to hit backspace. Now, some of my face and stuff went away because it was the same color as my background. But for this project, it's more about learning just some basic things like layers over here and how to transform and deselect. So now I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. Okay, so now I briefly brought up layers. Oops, wrong one, sorry. And if you look over here, you have a window and it's called layers. And in here, if you can see, there are now 3 layers. So this layer here, you can kind of tell from this thumbnail that it's the back spacing. But do we see this eye that is right here? Okay, if I click on the eye, it goes away. Okay, same thing with this. So we know that the next one we did was R2-D2. So if I click on this, R2-D2 goes away and he comes back. So everything that you do on a layer is independent and it's something totally different. You can do something totally different on every layer, and it's really easy either to do at one time. If I just wanted to work on him, I could do that without any kind of distraction, or I can save it with just one or both or whatever. So that's something we're going to learn a lot more about, but for right now, I just wanted you to know. Also, just so you know that, see how this one is highlighted? That's the one that you are working on. So if I have this one highlighted and I go up here and I have my X, I'm going to move that one. Even if I go over here and I'm on R2-D2 and I'm going to move him. Okay, so, and then R2-D2's layer was highlighted. All right, So the fun part, we're going to go to File, we're going to Save As, and we will go to our desktop, and you can go to Digital Arts 1, and we have it now called Desktop. But you see how it says Save As Type here. In order for it to be used as a background on your computer, you have to save it as something that the computer can see. And the computer cannot see Photoshop documents unless it is in the Photoshop software. So we're going to click on this little down arrow, and we're going to go to the first JPEG, which is right under IFF format. We're going to click on it. We're going to hit Save, and then we're just going to hit OK. All right, so now we can minimize our Photoshop. We can minimize Chrome, and I have this open. All right, and now we're going to go to our DA1. And you see here I have the file. It's called desktop.jpg. So the fun part, if I right click on top of this file, I get this menu. And we're going to go down here to the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down, says set as desktop background. If you click on it, I now have my space scene as my desktop background. All right, so if you finish this, what I would like you to do is I want you to create your own desktop background. You can follow the tutorial again so that you can make sure that you remember Control T for transform, Control D to deselect. You need to make sure you do the sizes correctly and that it's transparent. And then you can save it as a JPEG and make it your desktop background. If you have any questions, just let me know.